can't feel a thing. I'm numb from the eyebrows down since 5 o'clock this afternoon. I feel great. It's not real right yet.
You know, everybody always says that New York empties out in the summer and everybody's gone. Well, I'm here, and you know, and I know lots of people who are here, and I thought there's a real missed opportunity here. We're always hungry for stuff to go see during the summer because because that assumption is there. And I thought if we could put on some shows during the summer, I think we draw a great audience. We just needed some good ideas and the right time to do it. And we came up with these 3 Mondays in a row in July, and we packed the house each time.
Stop talking about him and talking about him and talking about him. I can't stop talking about him, the man that I adore. I can't stop talking about him and talking about him and talking about him. I can't stop talking about him, and though I seem a bore.
My favorite moment is just how proud I am. Yeah. But the I've Got You Under My Skin number, I think it's pretty fantastic. I love What'll I Do. I don't know, I love the Inappropriate medley. It's just a lot. It is so. It was so fantastic to see all of these people give their extra time.
You gotta think, number one, be loyal to none. If you want the sun to shine, you gotta pick up the knack to stab in the back, as long as that back ain't mine.
Well, I had done a Broadway originals, and then I did a Broadway by the year. I think I did 1967 with Annie Golden, and it was I did Hair and Promises, Promises. And then Noah and I know each other. We went to the same school, and we've been friends for a long time. You know, when I was growing up as a kid, all I ever wanted to do was be on Broadway. I never ever dreamed about doing film and TV, and that just kind of happened. And I was in LA for a long time, and I kept my apartment in New York because I kept thinking, I'm going back to New York, I'm going back to New York. And then eventually, you know, you do, and you get a show, and I'll never leave the theater. The theater is my home, it's my family, it's my friends, it's where my heart is, and I love it.
Anything that Noah choreographs is brilliant because he's an actor's choreographer. He gives you some thought to it, like Jerry Robbins or somebody like that. You know? And of course, I love tap dancing. That's how I started out. So he's the best. He's the best. He's the only heir to Fred Astaire that I know of. Noah Racey is the only heir to Fred Astaire. And I worked with Fred Astaire in Silk Stocking, so I saw him live. When Noah approached me about this, I thought, rather than just sing a regular song, I want to be a song and dance man, I thought I'd rather do something with a little humor to it. And then I talked to him about it, and then he said, why don't we connect it with Fosse and rehearsing and how hot it was. And so this man, Noah, is brilliant. Noah Racey is brilliant, folks. Brilliant. So I was thrilled to be asked to be in it with that amazing amount of talent that was on the stage tonight. Just blew me away.
Just be like those bamboo babies in the South Sea tropic zone. Tain't no sin to take off your skin and dance. Around in your bones.
Tommy came, Jerry came, people that mean a lot to me came, people, you know, Tommy Toon and Jerry Mitchell and David Hyde Pierce. I mean, the support I got was amazing. It was beautiful. And the reaction, I literally could not really get it all in. I just kept walking back and forth, making sure I knew my lines and trying to remember where I came in.
Noah Racey did such an incredible job. I had no idea what he was doing during the week, rehearsing everybody. But tonight I sat in the wings because I had the last number, so I sat in the wings for the whole show. And it was so phenomenal, the dancing and just the way he theatricalized everything and the singers. This show should be taken on the road, I'll tell you. It was beautiful, and I was very proud. It was a beautiful number that Noah choreographed to What'll I Do by George
from a musical, I told them right away that I wanted to do Hot Food.
I think everybody's just so talented. You don't get a group of people like this together in any show. But a friend of ours, a new friend of ours who we think is a really talented tap dancer, Hendrik, who did his tribute to Gregory Hines, the late Gregory Hines. So I'm just so blown away by him. Absolutely.
I mean, the star of the show tonight was Noah's choreography and conception. And
Scott Noah came to us and said, you know, we're going to do a medley of all the songs that shouldn't be danced to. And we sort of sat around, Noah and Sean and Ross and I all sat around and kind of batted ideas back and forth and came up with the medley that we did. And it went over so well. We weren't sure how it was going to play, but
after a while, it kind of took on a life of its own as far as styles and taking songs and changing the feel to them.
There is a castle on a cloud. I like to go there in my sleep. Not any floors for me to sweep. Not on my castle on a cloud.
In daylight,
Sunsets, cups of coffee,
in inches,
in laughter.
ha 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 ha.
How do you measure a year? How about love? Love. They're called Broadway. The dust of life, conceived in hell and born in strife.
I first got involved last June, actually. I was doing Pajama Game, and Sean Martin Pinkston called me and said, I want to do this duet. You know, I'd love for you to do it with me. And so I made a big splash with my big blonde afro. We did a 70s number. It was pretty silly. But Sean got me hooked up with Scott and Barbara.
Under My Skin was inspired by Dinah Washington. You know, her cover of it with the dueling trumpets. The bossa nova she did to it just stuck with me, and I thought it would be a great tap number.
Noah had this idea, and he started like singing it to me, and clearly it was all in his head. He had every rhythm idea in his head, and we worked for probably like 5 weeks, 5 Sunday evenings, just nailing it out, hammering it out, ideas, bouncing this rhythm over and over and over again, because it was it may seem simple, but it was very tricky, and those boys were hot. I mean, it's all about them, as far as I'm concerned, because that rhythm is pretty infectious. How can you pick a favorite? I mean, up there with all these Broadway divas. I've done shows with most of those people up there, and an icon for me, Karen Ziemba, to do a number right before her. I mean, it's just, that's probably a highlight for me. But
sometimes a friend starts treating you bad, but the world goes round, and sometimes your heart breaks with a deafening sound.
Just also so proud of Noah. I mean, I know the work that he put into this was staggering, and it's just that we pulled it off. We're gypsies, we did it.
I love what we do. I love the people who do it. We are badass people who put their life on the line and just decimate ourselves in order to give this art form. I love that. I love what we do, and I've been so fortunate to work with people who love and cherish the form of musical theater and dance.